Your voice is calling me, but it seems so far away. Every word you ever said, every feeling that you gave. Why did you let go? Cause I know that this is hard, but it makes me feel so down. Can we turn it all around? Pulling me to the ground, tears streaming down my face. My chest hurts, I can't escape. There's no going back now. Will you miss me when I'm gone? Will you think of me when you're all alone?
So I'll never say it would ever end like this. Oh, we went down a limb, now I'm standing in the middle of a mess. Go on and tell your friends we're being friends, we're good enough, we're good enough. Go on and tell your friends we're being friends, we're good enough, we're good enough, we're good enough.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Grind Fantasy official NBA live stream. This is the 6-game slate. We are without Boston and Chicago. They were postponed last night, so this is a 6-game slate. Hopefully everybody's having a great night. Sorry, we're off to a little bit late of a start here. We had some technical difficulties. TJ's power went out, unfortunately, so we had to reboot everything, including his mic and setup. So, but we are here to give you guys some slate breaking injury news, updates, live updates, ownership projections, all that to gear you up for this live slate. Right now we have a ton of injury news. Right now we're looking specifically at the Miami Heat. Guys, you're gonna have to get used to this, unfortunately. We are in the time of COVID, and unless a team has less than 8 players, they're gonna play out the games, it seems like, which I'm a fan of personally for DFS because it opens up a lot of useful value. So we're gonna go ahead and break down the slate, TJ. Last night, I want to touch base on the 76ers. So the 76ers had about 8 people as well. They had the chalk completely bust. It was Danny Green, Joel Embiid, and also Mike Scott. They were the highest owned on that roster, and they all busted. I touched base on this in the video. When I mean aggressively stack a team that has a lot of value, I literally mean aggressively stack it. We had 6 players, at least I did in small GPPs, and when the chalk busts, you're still okay because those are the high-owned guys, and we talk about ownership is the most important thing. I was able to grab some of the value, the really low-owned value, and it propelled me to the top of the top of some of these GPP tournaments. So thankfully, I had that going for me, and we will be doing something similar here with the Miami Heat. Let's go ahead and start there, TJ. Let's go ahead and break down from the top. Where are you looking in terms of the Miami Heat tonight?
Yeah, Matt. So obviously we got a lot of COVID news. It's something that everybody's going to have to get used to with the season, unfortunately. And
looks like it's picking up your webcam rather than your mic.
Yeah, see, and that was the issue. Can you at least hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Okay, it just doesn't sound great.
Yep, we're good.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, you can mess with it after you talk.
Yeah, we'll do it later. So yeah, Matt, I think Princess Achua is somebody that we're looking at. Yes, everybody keeps giving me crap because I called him Princess on stream. I did not mean to. It is Precious. Yeah, so Precious starting, well, presumably at the 4. I think he's going to be locked in cash at 3,100. We only have 9 eligible guys in this Miami rotation that we're potentially going to see. So I would assume that Precious, Olynyk, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero all play north of 30 minutes. So I really like all those guys for cash. I think they're all viable. Iguodala's in play at 3,300. Gabe Vincent is currently projected at 22 minutes. So I don't hate him as the backup point guard to a guy like Tyler Hero. So, Matt, there's a ton of value here. I mean, it's the same exact situation that we saw last night with Philly. All these guys should be playing minutes. And it just makes total sense to go back to Miami. There's really nothing else that you can do, honestly.
Yeah, way too much value. The top price guy here is Tyler here at $6,700. We'll have a bulk of the usage, pretty much all the usage. When you break this down in terms of actual usage, we went to the Roto Grinders NBA Court IQ tool, and there was no sample size. So you can only use your brain here. You have to, and just think about this team as a whole. It's going to be Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero getting up all the shots, even a little bit of Kelly Olynyk, and then everybody else is just going to be, contributing in one way, shape, or form. They're all $3,000. The rest of the guys. Precious at 3,100, Iguodala at 3,300, and then we have 3 of the bench warmers here at $3,000 who should get extended run if this does blow out. It's a 9-point favorite. Again, I say trust Vegas all the time, but we got 4 major blowouts last slate. I mean, you guys just have to, you just kind of have to hope and pray at this point. Unfortunately, with COVID, there's no fans in the stands, and there's a higher chance that there's going to be blowout potential games here. So, Precious, I do like $3,100 is the highest owned on the slate. Tyler Hero also going to be very chalk. Duncan Robinson, I will expect to be chalk. But other than that, TJ, right now we have Oladipo, who's out, at least potentially out. I don't think it's official for the Indiana Pacers.
Right.
I think we're going to be looking there next. Do you want to go ahead and talk about the Pacers?
Yeah, I also can't get my mic to pick up through my controller for some reason. I just tried to fiddle around with it, and I couldn't speak. So I don't know what's happening. So I'm sorry for the inconvenience, guys. But, yeah, so we already have TJ Warren out, obviously, for Indiana. And now Oladipo looks like he is going to sit on this back-to-back going up against Golden State tonight. 227 over-under currently, Matt. And Golden State actually favored by 3 points. So this game could definitely stay competitive. And if you take off the
Golden State 7-4.
Yeah, I know, 6-4. If you take off Oladipo, McConnell's been out too last couple games. So if you take out Oladipo, McConnell, TJ Warren, and then you got to take out Jeremy Lamb also, and you look at the last 2 years, and we are looking at Sabonis getting a 2.3% usage bump with those guys off the floor. He's a 1.7 fantasy point per minute and a 26.9% usage rate, Matt. I have him currently pegged at 66.1 DraftKings points. The next guy I'm looking at is going to be Brogdon, who gets a 6.5% usage bump. He's a 1.3% usage rate and a 32.3 or 1.3% or 1.3 fantasy point per minute, and a 32.3% usage rate. I currently have him pegged for 52.6 DraftKings points. So I really like both those guys as spend ups as long as Oladipo is going to sit. I also think you can get some of these cheaper guys. Dougie Buckets is currently projected at 30 minutes, and then Aaron Holiday projected at 30 minutes as well. Aaron Holiday actually gets a 6.8% usage bump with those guys off the floor and a 1.03 fantasy point per minute. So, Matt, I have him pegged at 10 times value right now, Aaron Holiday. He's not showing the ownership, so it's definitely somebody that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, but he is going to play a lot of minutes tonight, I presume. And then Dougie Buckets, 0.93 fantasy point per minute. I have him pegged at 27.9 DraftKings points right now. So I think, honestly, all 4 of those guys are valid in terms of cash if you need to go there. But, again, I don't want to get away from that Miami Heat value. That's where I'm going. But I still think there's some interesting plays in Indiana, especially those spend-ups and Sabonis and Brogdon.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think you need to start with a Heat value, and again, hope the chalk does hit for you guys who only play double ups. But yeah, Indiana's going to be the other place I'm looking here. Right now, we have Oladipo projected to play at 32 minutes, but again, he is a rest candidate, so I think he is going to sit.
He's going to sit.
Yeah,
I think so.
His minutes are going to disperse to the guards. 32 minutes is what he's projected at right now. Aaron Holiday is going to get a good boost. Justin Holiday is going to get a boost. Malcolm Brogdon is going to get even further of a boost, but a majority of it's going to go to Aaron Holiday. I'm going to expect him to play around 32 minutes or so. I think it's Miami and Indiana night, and there's nothing else that needs to be said. If you want to fill out the rest of your lineup, you can look to guys like the San Antonio Spurs. Right now, DeRozan is technically out. All of these guys got a price bump, though. DeJounte Murray went up $300. Trey Lyles is probably the only guy that didn't get a significant boost. Do you have any interest, TJ, in Trey Lyles or anybody from the Spurs roster?
Not really. I think if I'm going anywhere, Matt, it would probably be DeJounte Murray or Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker looks the most intriguing with DeRozan and Derek White off the floor. He actually gets an 8% usage bump, and he's a 1 fantasy point per minute. So, but again, we can never trust Pop. It's always so unclear with him. I mean, Keldon Johnson's a guy that burned a lot of people last game against Minnesota. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had a big game at 6,200, but more of a tournament play for me. A lot of these guys are showing a little bit of lower ownership. DeJounte Murray is the only guy that I'm seeing north of 20, and that's probably where I would go, honestly, putting recency bias, away. So I definitely have some interest here in the Spurs, but again, I want to make if I think Oladipo is going to sit, so I want to make Brogdon and Sabonis priorities, and then I want to fill out with the Miami Heat that I can.
Agree with you,
and then kind of go from there. So for me, it's going to be kind of what do I have left and what can I make work, not really like prioritizing the Spurs. I'm going to be prioritizing Indiana and Miami over everybody else, especially in cash, and then kind of going from there and seeing what I have left with my builds.
Another team I actually want to focus on, TJ, are the Brooklyn Nets because they have one guy that stands out, and I'm assuming that you are also looking at that same kind of picture. Kevin Durant is only $9,400, projected at 36 minutes right now. Same thing with Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert's also staring me in the eyes. He didn't have the best game last game, but that's because Kevin Durant was back. This is expected to be a very competitive matchup. He's projected at 20.1% ownership. Right now, Kevin Durant averages 1.61 fantasy points without Kyrie Irving. Whatever he's going through, don't know if he's even going to be back. It's insane to think that he's fully healthy and just not playing at this point in the season. 6.2 point per dollar value. What are your thoughts here on Kevin Durant? Are you going to be playing him in cash?
Is Kyrie being a diva like he was on Boston?
I'm so glad the Spurs never got him.
I mean, this is who Kyrie is. He's unhappy with something. I don't know if it's what's going on in the political world or with COVID or some drama with Brooklyn, but this is. Hopefully they figure it out because him and KD together could be lethal. But with that being said, yes, Matt, KD would be my other favorite spend up tonight. 6% usage bump. You talked about the 1.61 fantasy point per minute with the likes of Dinwiddie and Kyrie off the floor. 37% usage rate. I have him pegged for 59.7 DraftKings points as long as this game does stay competitive, which what we're hoping for tonight. So yes, KD would be my other favorite spend up spot tonight alongside Sabonis. I do like LeVert. Again, another guy that does pop on the sheet. He gets a 4% usage bump with Dinwiddie and Spencer Dinwiddie and Kyrie off the floor. 1.34 fantasy point per minute and a 33.4% usage rate. Those are the two guys that I would go to the net for the Nets. TLC would probably be my favorite spend down spot in this game. And, it could be competitive against Denver. So if that's what we're going to see, then KD is going to be, again, probably my second favorite spend up spot behind Sabonis. They'd be my 1 and 2 favorites.
I completely agree with you. I think I'm personally going to prioritize Durant just because of this over under, TJ. It's actually the high, right now. Okay. It's the highest on the entire slate and right behind or right in front of Indiana and Golden State. So it's not that far behind, but still a 1 point favorite right now. Brooklyn Nets 230 over under. I really like this game to attack in terms of GPP. I like Karis LeVert to fly under the radar. I think he has a bounce back night. He has no reason not to. His price tag is down, a buy low candidate. So I'd like everything about the Brooklyn Net picture. Do you have any interest elsewhere on this team? Jarrett Allen, $6,500 seems a little bit too pricey for me. Joe Harris, $5,400. What are your thoughts there?
No, like I said, I want to prioritize KD and cash alongside. I think a lot of my builds or, my main one lineup that, I do night in and night out is going to feature KD, Sabonis, and Brogdon as long as Oladipo's out and nothing else changes. I think those are the three guys I want to spend up for. But in terms of other plays here, like I said, TLC would probably be my favorite. I don't hate what I've seen from like Teron Prince and Jeff Green, but I think there's better value elsewhere. Like if I'm in that price range, that 38 to 4K range, and I can choose between Teron Prince, Jeff Green, I'd rather go to a guy like Doug McDermott tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think TLC is a decent play at 3,600. KD and LeVert are my two favorite here from Brooklyn.
Completely agree with you. Let's switch over to the other side of the ball, TJ. We know Michael Porter is out. Jokic is the highest price guy on the slate at 11K. Is he worth it for contrarian builds, TJ?
I think at tournaments, I think Jokic is somewhere you can go. For me, for cash, I'm all set with him tonight. Again, I'd rather spend down a little bit and not pay that 11K price tag. I think you might be able to fit him in if you're going heavy on the Miami value. Again, I think having Miami in your lineups, especially for cash, is going to be huge. And it's something you're going to need to do. So you could have some builds, Matt, where you're rostering Iggy, Precious,
all the 3K guys.
Maybe like Chris Silva or like Gabe Vincent, one of those two guys. And then you have the ability. Even if you get another guy from Miami, an Olynyk or Hero in there, you're going to have the ability to spend up and get a guy like Jokic. So I think you can do it. It's just not the road that I'm going to be taking. Again, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I honestly
think it's a good spot against Brooklyn.
I'm personally going to probably take the same approach last night by stacking the who was the value last night? Drawing a blank. Sixers last night. I'm going to probably stack the Heat again, at least in a couple small entry GPPs, because if the chalk does bust, let's hypothetically say Hero gets in foul trouble, TJ, one of those 3K guys is going to play 30-plus minutes right there. So going to pay off the value there. I'm going to probably be stacking them aggressively in very small tournaments. Coming back with somebody like Jokic, I can really get behind that build. If Denver does win, it's going to be because of Jokic and his high scoring. Definitely like him. Do you have any interest in somebody like Jamal Murray at 6.9K? I think he's going to be a very contrarian pick to somebody like Tyler Hero tonight.
Smart, but tournament plays for sure. Gonna be a great pivot off of a guy like Tyler Hero.
Yeah, high pace matchup.
Yeah, not for cash. It's a fantastic matchup against Brooklyn. Should be a shootout and a lot of points to be scored in that game. So I like that as a tournament pivot off of a guy like Tyler Hero. That's probably going to be 4 times as chalky. I like where your head's at, but in terms of cash, I'm all set from everybody on Denver.
One more team to talk about in terms of cash, and this is kind of a stretch, TJ, because this is a pace down spot. This is a very bad matchup. They are projected to score 98 total points. Can you guess who it is? The Cleveland Cavs.
San Antonio Spurs.
Okay. Well, you might get it right again. They scored 88 points the other night. Andre Drummond, $9,100 without Sexton, 20.9% owned. Is he an option in cash over somebody like Sabonis?
Bundled in the chat for keep saying because you don't pronounce Jokic.
He's a joker. Right. He's going to be Jokic. It's fine. I get it. But
Jeremy has an issue with it.
Sorry, Jeremy.
7 exclamation points.
Don't unsubscribe, please.
But yes, it is Jokic. But I'm going to start calling Jokic now. I think Jokic is a decent cash option if you have to go there. Yeah, Matt. So again, we have the debacle, which is Cleveland, and it's funny. Somebody asked me in the Discord right before Sexton was out as a healthy scratch, and I remember they asked me about Dotson for cash, and I was like, no, you don't want to go Dotson for cash tonight. And then of course it was right after the game tips. Sexton was deemed a healthy scratch, and then Dotson hit value.
Yeah, Dotson is the best player in the NBA right now, apparently. So
yeah, Dotson's been really good. So if I'm going anywhere, Matt, in terms of cash, in terms of the sheet, like Dotson is the guy that pops the most, and I'm trying to find it.
I don't hate him.
He gets a 2.3% usage bump with all these guys off the floor, and he's a 0.87 fantasy point per minute. I know everybody's going to want to go to Drummond, but I don't really like the matchup against Gobert. But Drummond's going to play 35-plus minutes as long as the game stays competitive.
And that's something that we can.
Yeah, for sure. Okoro is a guy that is just so cheap and plays 40 minutes, so I wouldn't hate him, I guess, as a last piece, but I'd rather go to Miami. I think Dotson would be my favorite play, honestly, as from what I'm seeing right now. But again, at 97 over under, I don't really take that into consideration too much, just because those starting 5 of Drummond, Osman, Dotson, Okoro, and Nance are all going to play 34-plus minutes if the game's competitive, anyways. And I feel like those are the only guys you're really looking at. So when we're talking about the over under, it doesn't really wean me off of them too much, just because I know the upside is still there because they are going to play the minutes as long as it's competitive, even if they put up 98 points.
They also activated a couple guys, I guess, from their D League. Yep, Yogi Ferrell, one of my favorite players back in the day. He actually got me my very first takeover ever back when I first started playing DFS, so I really have bias towards him. But he could definitely eat into the minutes. Yogi Ferrell's not that bad. I mean, he definitely is a gunslinger, so once he gets in there, he just shoots the ball. Could definitely eat into some of these minutes. I can't confidently say that Okoro is way better than Ferrell. I mean, if Ferrell gets in there and starts hitting shots, they could definitely keep him in there. I don't really like the guard play. I think the only person that I'm really considering is probably Drummond, TJ, if I'm being honest. If I'm looking at this team altogether, 98 points just scares the heck out of me. I think that's a very accurate projection, unfortunately, from Vegas.
Yeah, they're pretty handicapped offensively, unfortunately. So,
yep,
is what it is. It's just.
We got one more team to talk about in terms of cash, and that is the Houston Rockets, strictly because John Wall is questionable. If he is ruled out, what are your thoughts on this roster overall?
So if John Wall is out, Matt, we're also pending Eric Gordon as well, which would be pretty big, I think. So with John Wall off the floor this year, I mean, the one guy that I'm most likely going to be looking at is probably going to be James Harden. For some reason, my court IQ, there we go, that's a lot better. So yeah, the one guy that I would be looking at is going to be James Harden. He gets a 4.3% usage bump with John Wall off the floor. He's a 34% usage rate, and he's a 1.65 fantasy point per minute. And I think it's an opportunity that you're gonna have the flexibility to pay out for him for sure. So I would like Harden, but again, that's only if John Wall is out. If John Wall is in, then I obviously have no interest here in Houston. Yeah. So it's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. And again, if Eric Gordon's out too, I think that opens up some more value, maybe for a guy like probably Ben McLemore. And I think it would be a high usage game for both James Harden and Christian Wood.
And by the way, Andre Drummond is a game time decision, so that's also something to consider. Right, if he is out, that is a mess of a team. That is going to have blow up potential written all over it. Not too much interest in that game at all.
So Matt, if John Wall's out, I would have Harden projected for 62.1 DraftKings points.
62.1. I'll go ahead and put that now. Yeah. So I still like Durant better as a pay up option.
I do too.
Harden hasn't been the same this year. I definitely still like him against the Lakers, but again, if you're chasing the over under and just sheer value, I do like the Brooklyn Nets a lot more. I think that covers. Go ahead.
63.7.
63.7. Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yep.
I think that covers the entire slate in terms of cash. Now, for GPP, it's going to be anybody else. We actually touch base on a couple of GPP options. Obviously, Steph Curry's in that last game in a decent high over-under. He went down the price tag, $9,800. I do like him. I also like Andrew Wiggins at $6,300. Got the price decrease. And Draymond Green went up pretty aggressively in that price tag, so I'm not as high on him now. But again, this last game has very low ownership. Same thing with the Pacers, at lower on some of the value guys. So you can definitely chase the last game as a late night hammer, but again, if you're starting your builds tonight, TJ, I think you can agree with me, in cash and GPP, you got to start with the Miami Heat. Miami Heat just present too much value, similar to what we saw last night with the 76ers. Hopefully the chalk hits for you guys with the Miami Heat. I grabbed everybody on the roster pretty much and was able to cash and GPPs. I'll probably do the same in very small tourneys. Again, you got to trust the process. You got to trust the minutes, and hopefully they far exceed their 101.5 Vegas projection right now. That's the only thing you can hope for. But other than that, TJ, do you like any of the GPP options on the slate? Do you like any other GPP options?
I mean, yeah, Steph Curry showing 16% is somebody that I'm going to be interested in, especially coming off an abysmal shooting night against Toronto. 2 of 16 from the floor and 1 of 10 from 3. So I can only expect Steph is going to be pretty heated after his performance and going to want to come out pretty aggressively. We saw Anthony Davis last game go up against Christian Wood. Only played 30 minutes, but was super efficient when he was on the floor. $9,500 tonight. I like him as a tournament play as well. Christian Wood said that he circled that game and just got absolutely bodied by 80 down low. SGA is, I think, a guy that's in play that's showing pretty low ownership. Still sitting at that 8K mark. He's been really good his last couple games. He's been super aggressive. Really taken OKC to some fantastic games. So I really like him. Rudy Gobert, Matt, at 8,200, showing very low ownership. I think it's a good matchup against Drummond. With that being said, blow up potential. So tread lightly. I'm trying to think of who else that I have in terms of tournaments. Aaron Holiday is not showing too much ownership right now. I would consider him more of a cash play. What do I have Aaron Holiday in terms of ownership right now?
Aaron Holiday was down there.
18%. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna play 30 minutes as long as Oladipo's out. I really like
than that.
Okay, so yeah, I really like him. Lonnie Walker, I know he's not carrying too much ownership. I like him at 5,400 with DeRozan out. THT Matt really played well with Wes Matthews off the floor last game. Price tag is still the same.
Oh wow, he did.
Yeah, the only thing that we get worried with him is his minutes. He'll probably play around 20 to 22. And with that being said, I think he's in a really good spot. He really benefits with Wesley Matthews off the floor. He gets a 2% usage bump, and he's a 1.25 fantasy point per minute this year. So I do like him as a potential tournament play as well. So yeah, that's just a couple that I like. The tournament plays last night. I mean, I was really vocal on Vooch coming off all those other centers that were carrying ownership, and I think it paid off pretty well.
For sure.
Saw some Patreon members that were high on Vooch as well. So yeah, I think there's some really good tournament plays. I think fading Miami if you're playing tournaments would probably be your ideal situation, although it is very dangerous. If you want to get different, I think that's where you want to go. Probably get away from them and then probably away from those expensive Indiana guys.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm going to be all over the Miami Heat. And Philadelphia presents some good value play as well. However, they did all get a price increase. If you guys want to go back to Danny Green.
Ben Simmons is back, yeah.
What's that?
Ben Simmons is back tonight,
Ben
too.
Simmons
so
is back, yep. Yep, and Maxey went up tremendously in the price tag. So I think we covered the entirety of the slate, guys. I think we're going to open up for questions, and then we'll go ahead and get off pretty early, assuming that all of our questions are taken care of. I'm going to check the Discord, guys. If you could please show us some support, hit that like button, get us to the top of the search result for this growing community, guys. We are one of the top and fastest growing DFS communities on YouTube. Kid you not, we compare charts all the time, one of the top ones, top 5 at least. So if you guys could show us some more support and hit that like button.
150 likes gets the $20 giveaway every single night. I'm going to do it. So get this to 150 likes. I'll give away 20 bucks to one lucky viewer in the chat.
All right, some questions here. So Indiana, the best target on FanDuel since no Heat and Sixers. Yes, I do know that the 76ers and Miami Heat are not on the slate, and I know that Indiana is chalk. So they definitely will be chalk. KD or Sabonis and tiers, just straight up, I'm gonna say KD.
Yeah, I'd probably say, dude, I don't know. That's tough.
It is tough. I do like KD though.
Okay, I'm gonna say Sabonis.
Okay, how does this look for a 300-man GPP? Brogdon, this is a DraftKings line, by the way, TJ. Brogdon, Hero, Iguodala, Precious, Sabonis, Maxey, Durant, McDermott. Yeah, I don't mind that. I like that build overall. Maxey's the only guy I'm hesitant on.
Yeah, I don't hate Maxey, honestly, even with Ben Simmons back. I feel like he proved himself. I know the prices, obviously come up and he's 5,500, but I think he's going to play some minutes regardless of Ben Simmons being there. The only thing I'm kind of scared of, Matt, would be Miami. Let's say Miami comes out flat and we see a similar situation that we did last night with the Sixers. You know, a guy like Iguodala would be one of those guys that in a potential blowout will be on the bench in the fourth quarter or late in the third and won't see that run. So that's something that I like to try and think about when I'm building my tournaments or my GPP lineups is like, yeah, if I'm attacking Miami, who do I think has a lot of upside and the potential of a blowout, right? And, yeah, so like if Philly is gonna blow out Miami like they did they got blown out last night against Atlanta, like who benefits from being on the floor in the fourth quarter with a small rotation? A guy like Iguodala. Well, yeah, I mean, last night with the Sixers, you know, I could have told you that if that game blows out like it did in the fourth quarter, the 3 guys that were going to sit were going to be Embiid, Mike Scott, and Danny Green. I feel like that is a pretty obvious statement. I mean, I guess I was kind of unsure if Embiid was going to play or not in the fourth quarter. I wasn't sure if they would roll out Dwight Howard or let Embiid get some run in the fourth, but they decided to rest Embiid. So again, in this type of situation where Philly are 9-point favorites in a tight rotation in Miami, I can confidently say that if this situation presents itself, Iguodala would be the guy. I can confidently say Iguodala will not play in the fourth quarter if this game blows out.
So who would play in his place? Somebody like Duncan Robinson?
No, I would assume that somebody like I would say they would have Precious out there. They probably give minutes to like Gabe Vincent. I bet Chris Silva would get in there as well.
And Strauss.
Max Strauss. Yeah, so
then
I
who's
think
the
that's
last guy. That's a question. So it's gonna be Olynyk or Hero.
No, Olynyk would probably be out. I would say it would probably be Tyler Hero. Honestly, yeah, I would say Hero. Yeah, I think Hero would play. In the
We've
fourth.
seen him play fourth quarter stretches and blowouts too, so I can agree with that. I do like Tyler Hero to get that extended run, but a nice crossover candidate would be somebody like Precious. I like Precious overall, $3,100. You're expecting him to play regardless of if it's a blowout or not. So I think it's a very safe.
He's a regardless type player for sure.
Yeah. So that's a good point to bring up though.
Just something I like to hone in on it and play out some different scenarios and situations.
I wish it was somebody lower owned, but hey.
I know.
All right, thoughts on cash real quick, TJ. It's going to be DeJounte Murray, Tyler Hero, Iguodala, Precious, Kelly Olynyk, Maxey, Sabonis, Durant. So Maxey again. Guys, pay attention to Maxey. I'm very hesitant on him. I know he's a very good player, but the minutes won't be as high as they were last game. I get it if you're game log looking. I don't know if I'm going to be including him in cash. Overall, I like that build, though. I do like Durant, Sabonis, Olynyk, and the rest of the Heat in there. I'm just not too sure on Maxey, okay, as the last piece. If that's one of your last pieces, I'll let it slide. But again, Maxey's not the greatest cash play tonight.
Matt, I personally think he's okay for cash as the last piece. But again, the price bump is pretty significant. And, you have to keep in mind that Ben Simmons is back. So we could see a lot of Ben Simmons. We could see a lot of Joel Embiid. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I think stacking Miami is the obvious pitcher. But yeah, I don't hate Maxey as the last piece.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and go down to the next question. We have a lot of them, TJ, so sit tight. Thoughts on this for a $12 single entry 686 person tournament? It's going to be Brogdon, Aaron Holiday, THT, Precious, Olynyk, Conley, Durant, Sabonis. I don't mind that. Conley, though, won't benefit in a blowout. $7,100 is very expensive for him. That's probably the only guy I don't like. In THT, you're counting on him getting minutes. I don't like his upside. Of course, I say that, and then he drops 35 on your forehead. But again, it's the minutes for him. He probably won't do that again.
Yeah.
Sabonis or SGA. This is a combination. Sabonis, SGA, or Jokic, Schroeder for cash, TJ.
Sabonis, SGA.
I agree. FD, FanDuel, single entry thoughts. Mills, Schroeder, Walker, Diallo, Durant, McDermott, Holiday, Sabonis, Joker. Why was it so many people? I feel like I just read off the entire.
9 guys, FanDuel. Yeah, no, I like that.
Okay. How would you attack GPP slates on FanDuel since there's no Philly Miami game? We already talked about that. Indiana is going to be the value there. SGA as the last piece in cash. Yes, I do like that. Thoughts on Monte Morris, last piece in cash? Don't like that. Cash line leaving 1K on the table too much. Yes, it is. Miles Turner or Jarrett Allen at center on FanDuel? Question mark? Miles Turner. Yep.
He actually pops on the sheet, so
I
just left him out as my favorite Pacers plays.
Yep. So for cash, do you think you can play Brogdon, KD, Jokic, and stack value with Miami? Absolutely. I do like that as a build. However, that's more GPP because Jokic is going to be very low owned. Not very, but relatively.
Yeah, not very, but he'll be lower owned. Sabonis is going to carry more ownership than Jokic.
And KD will as well. Cash, Dotson, Hero. I already don't like it with Dotson. No, I'm kidding a little bit. Hero, Iguodala, Precious, Olynyk, LeVert, Sabonis, Durant. I would mix up Dotson and LeVert. I think those are going to be your lowest owned. TJ, that was it. I tried to roar through those questions.
All right. No, you crushed it. That was very good. All right. Let's start at the top here, Matt, and let's see what we got. Indiana is heavy chalk on FanDuel. Okay, yep. Because I'm currently seeing on Roto Hero and Duncan projected at 73 minutes. It's not a thing. 37 minutes in Achuya and Olynyk at 30. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah, Precious does get in foul trouble a lot. But, I mean, guys, with that being said, I just find it really hard to fade him at 3,100, even if he's in foul trouble or not.
Yeah. He's going to have to play. I'll keep saying it over and over and over again.
I would, I understand the logic. So if you're thinking he's very foul trouble prone, then sure, fade him in tournaments if that's where you want to go. But I don't think you'd be different in cash and fade somebody at 3,100 projected at 30 minutes. That's just me. I mean, again, you guys do whatever it is, that tickles your fancy. But in my honest opinion, I'm going to take the guy that presents the best opportunity night in and night out. Throw away, foul trouble aside. I think you need to leave that on the side. KD, yep, we like KD for cash. LeVert or SGA? I mean, I had this question the other night, and I said LeVert.
I like LeVert.
Yeah, I mean, I do like LeVert night in and night out, but I do like SGA. So I think I like both. I'll say SGA. Jokic, Gobert, question mark. I like Jokic as the last piece in cash if you're really stacking value. I don't know if you're asking me which one. I would say Jokic. Pick 3. Robinson, Hero, Olynyk, and Achuya. Precious. Oh, boy. I would say Hero, Olynyk, and Precious.
If you're asking for the favorite Heat, it's going to be the top 3 here. Precious, it's going to be Hero, and probably Duncan Robinson for me. I like all of them, though.
All right. I think I like Kelly a little more than Duncan.
Okay.
Kelly does a little bit more. Duncan's really 3-point dependent,
Yep.
but very good. Is Aaron Holiday a good player? No, I think so. Yes. Have y'all talked about Harden? If Gordon and Wall are,
Yep.
yeah, Harden's going to be a fantastic play. If both those guys are out, even if one of them's out, I do like Harden. Will Barton in tournaments? Sure. Love guards against Brooklyn. Definitely Grant. His name is pronounced jokic, Matt.
I know.
Drummond is a game time decision. Yeah, we're going to have to monitor. I mean, if Drummond's out, JaVale McGee becomes a very intriguing play. JaMychal Green, last piece. In cash, not tonight. DeJounte Murray, Max Struss, Sumner, KD, Jokic, Hero, Aldridge, Nwaba. If that's tournament, sure, but I think you have a lot of different pieces. I don't hate Sumner, honestly. What's up, fellas? Hi, Sano. Matt, what's the best play under 3,500?
Under 3,500, it's going to be Precious. It's also going to be Andre Iguodala, and I'll give you one more. It's going to be Trey Lyles at $3,300.
I'll let Matt take that one. Drummond, game time decision. Yeesh. Drummond. Doug McDermott going to drop the hammer tonight. He looked good last night. Yeah, I hope he didn't waste all of his fantastic shots last night. He hit a bunch of threes. How do you feel about Diablo? That's a game I used to play on the computer. I don't really like it anymore, though. Yo, Matt, on field. Okay, you knew that. Who's your captain for Miami Philly, Matt? I'd personally say Hero or Embiid.
Yeah.
Those would be my
Take the
favorite.
highest scoring guy, put him a captain. Whoever you think that's going to be.
Pacers and Spurs. Okay. Thoughts on Monty Morris?
Captain
I'm not.
obvious.
Yeah, I don't really like Monty Morris tonight in cash. Can we go Nance if Drummond sits? Sure. Yeah, I think Nance becomes a pretty good play as well. How do we feel about Diallo and Wiseman? Wiseman just hasn't been seeing minutes. Diallo's been fantastic for OKC off the bench. It's been absolutely fantastic. So if you're looking at a tournament play, I don't hate Diallo. I'm going to stay away from him for cash, though, but he's been coming off the bench and a huge spark for OKC. Favorite cheap tournament play? Matt, you got one? Favorite cheap tournament play.
Okay, well, I'll go back to the
cheapy.
Heat for you guys. Ready?
Wow. Okay.
Gabe Vincent.
Okay. I think my favorite cheap tournament play. Matt, what do you have Doug McDermott at in terms of ownership?
What, ownership? Right now he's at 13.1.
Okay, Doug McDermott's fine. What is the best game to stack? Sacramento, OKC? No, it's going to be that Miami-Philly game, just solely because of the Miami value. Let's see, Matt. We got a lineup here. Hero, Robinson, Iguodala, Prince. Oh, my God, I almost said Princess. Precious, Christian Wood, LeVert, Durant, DeJounte Murray for tournaments. I don't hate it. I kind of like the LeVert Durant stack, honestly. And then, Christian Wood I like a lot more if one of Wall or Gordon's out. But yeah, I don't hate it. SGR Sabonis, FanDuel, GPP, Sabonis.
Yep.
Lyles if he starts, or Achuda. How do you pronounce his last name so I can say it right? It's Achua, right?
Don't ask me.
It's Precious Achua. I just want to make sure.
It has to be Achua. That's how it looks. So it's Achua.
I've heard it before, but my brain. I'm so tired. My brain is dead. Lyles if he starts, or Achua, it's Achua. If you want to go Lyles, do it in tournaments. Iguodala or THT. Iguodala is going to play more minutes, so you got to go Iguodala. But I do like THT as a pivot in tournaments. GPP lineup now. We got Curry, Hero, LeVert, Sabonis, Olynyk, Robinson, Achua, and Aaron Holiday. I like that. Just got here, tournament plays. Adam, we'll get back to that at the end. Thoughts on Wiggins for tournaments? Matt likes him as a tournament play. Will Barton a tournament play for sure with Michael Porter out. Man, my brain's not working. Is Mathis in play for a last piece? Matthias. Yeah, dude, my brain's not working right now. Is Matthias a last piece in cash? Matt,
He's projected 32 minutes.
Yeah, I don't hate him, honestly.
Yeah, I don't hate him either. Especially blowout. You think he's got to play? Nah, he probably won't play.
Yeah, I mean, he played all. Yeah, no, he looked good in the fourth. Him and Isaiah dropped last night.
Such a really good play.
Decision being made on Drummond for warm-ups. Thank you. Brogdon or Murray in cash. Brogdon for me. Trey Lyles play tonight, Matt. He's only a 0.55 fantasy point per minute, so I'm not like oozing to go with Trey Lyles.
Historically, he's better than that, so I think it's going to be better. It's got to be better as the season goes on.
Yeah. Diallo's a tournament play. JaVale McGee, question mark, if Drummond's out? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much run JaVale McGee will get, but he'll turn into a really good play. Struss or Vincent, last piece in cash. Oh, boy, I'd probably go Vincent, but that's a toss-up. I think I'd go Vincent, though.
Yep.
let's see, top 3 FanDuel cash locks. I know Indiana's the place to go, so I would say Doug McDermott, Sabonis, Brogdon.
Yep.
But I don't have the FanDuel pricing in front of me. Why are you low on Dotson? Not necessarily low on Dotson, just
minutes.
The price is a little bit rich.
I don't know those minutes because there's so many guards now.
For Cleveland?
Yeah, because of
Farrell.
Farrell.
Because you're talking about like Yogi Farrell,
Yep.
And I still think Dotson's going to play 35 minutes. Honestly,
Okay.
I don't hate him at the last piece, but I think there's better value.
Yeah, you still could.
Yeah, for sure. Thoughts on DK Cash? We got Brogdon, Hero, McDermott, Durant, Sabonis, Holiday, Precious, and Kelly O.
I like
love
that.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, love it. I think that's my lineup, honestly. Diallo or Lonnie Walker? I like Lonnie Walker.
I like Lonnie Walker tonight too.
$4,300 play, small forward, Matt. Let's see what we got here. $4,300, small forward. I think Doug McDermott's my favorite at $3,900. I'd leave $400 on the table. That's if you don't have him.
Yeah,
Agree with me, Matt?
I agree. There's not too much to choose from there.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? TJ, would you care to comment on the fact that Spurs have a chance to win tonight while the Celtics have 0? Morph, I love you, man. Yeah,
True.
I actually love the fact that these Celtics games keep getting postponed because we're going to be without a lot of our studs.
Yep.
So I'm okay with it, honestly. But yeah, that's cool. $6,500 left for util single entry, Matt. What do you think? $6,500 single entry util spot. Man, there's some decent plays here. You got Jared Allen, you got LMA, you got Wiggins, you got
LMA.
Kendall Johnson, you got Miles Turner. I'm gonna go Kelton Johnson.
They go LMA.
You like Lamarcus?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Brogdon a lock? If Oladipo's out, Brogdon, I personally believe Brogdon's a lock in cash. Yep.
Yeah, Brogdon's a great play tonight.
Yeah. I keep landing on Wiggins in the small forward slot, and it keeps making me want to puke. Yeah, Justin, I would puke too, but yeah, I don't really hate it. Chris said, so do I. Wiggins scares me. We were saying Achua's name correctly. Achua, bless you.
John Wall is expected to play tonight. On track to play.
Achua, bless you. Thank you guys for saying bless you when I was sneezing. He is on pace to play.
Yep. Don't gotta worry about Houston anymore.
Matt, I got a question for you. How many Heat players is too much?
8. DraftKings won't allow you to play 8.
So 8's too much?
Yeah. Seriously. I'm being serious.
Okay. Matt, if Drummond is out, Brogdon, Hero, Iggy, DK, Olynyk, Curry, Precious, JaVale McGee.
Is that cash?
Yeah, I believe so.
Not McGee. No, definitely not McGee. Oh, if Drummond's out. Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
JaVale McGee at 3,800, man. He's what, a 1 point?
Yeah, he's great. I mean, not great, but he's efficient, I should say. Doesn't have the best matchup, though.
Right. Wall probable now. Thank you, guys. Gordon is still questionably up. If Wall plays, Jokic or Harden for tiers, I say Jokic. How does this look for a double up, Matt? We got Hero, Matthias, LeVert, Iggy, Achua, Joe, Isaiah Joe, Durant, and Harden. I don't like that.
No. You got to get rid of the 76ers there.
Yeah,
Replace those with Heat.
You want to get rid of Harden and cash, too, especially with Wall probable now. Who could be a sneaky play? We'll talk about that at the end, or we'll give out our tournament plays again. Fade Kelly O and put Draymond instead for cash.
No,
I think you do that in tournaments.
Yeah,
I don't think you do that in cash.
I agree.
LeVert or DeJounte Murray, Matt?
LeVert or DeJounte Murray? LeVert.
Okay.
Yep. I like that over under. I really do think that's a sneaky game to stack. That Brooklyn Denver game.
We got another lineup here, Matt, for cash. Brogdon, Hero, Iguodala, KD, Precious, Murray, Kelly Olynyk, and LMA.
I like that. LMA is going to be a little bit lower owned, but I do like that.
Yeah. We got a tournament lineup here, Matt. We have Brogdon, Hero, Miles Turner, Ben Simmons, Precious, Iguodala, Barley, and DeJounte Murray.
Did you really say Barley?
His best shot at spelling Iguodala there.
Oh.
His best effort. Iguodala. I don't hate that. I kind of like Simmons in tournaments, honestly.
I want to get to a question real quick, TJ.
Okay.
Single entry with 66 people. Do you still like Miami, Indiana guys? Absolutely. That's a very small GPP. GPP question mark. It's going to be Tyler Hero, Mateus, Iguodala, Precious, Jokic, Aaron Holiday, Durant, Sabonis. I actually really like that. I really, really do. Duncan or Iggy, straight up. Duncan.
Yeah.
SGA, LeVert, or Hero for point guard.
I'd say Hero.
That's a very big price discrepancy, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It's probably FanDuel.
Straight up. Okay.
No, that Miami.
No, it's DraftKings. It's DraftKings. Go with the highest price. It's going to be LeVert. He's the most efficient. Well, I think SGA is the highest price. I do like LeVert the most out of those three, but it's going to be Hero for value. Yeah. All right, that's it. Sorry. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. Awkward silence.
What's up?
I said that was an awkward silence. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were doing. Matt, does Aldridge?
You lagged. What'd you say?
Does Aldridge come through again?
Does Aldridge come through again? No, because they're the Spurs. No, I like the matchup a little bit better. It's a very low scoring game. I don't like the Spurs overall. I will say that Pop is just. I would only play the Spurs and GPPs, and that includes DeJounte Murray. If you land on DeJounte Murray as a last piece, I don't hate it. But these guys are just so inconsistent. No, I can't confidently say either way. I only like them for GPPs.
Matt, are you worried about a Pacers blowout? Pacers are actually road dogs.
No, I'm not.
So I'm not.
No. The only game there's two games. It's going to be Utah and Cleveland. You need to watch out for, and then Philly and Miami. Those are the two games. I
don't think Philly blows out Miami. Philly's trash. Are you worried about? Oh no, just kidding. I just read that. Someone asked Curry or Iguodala. I'd go Iguodala over Steph Curry. Matt, we get cash. What?
I was going to cut you off and say let's go ahead and wrap it up soon.
Yep, sure.
Let's go over our cash locks, TJ, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it all the way up. Cash locks, TJ. If you had to make a cash core of 4 players right now, where are you looking?
Matt, I would be looking at Precious Achiuwa.
Okay.
I would be looking at Tyler Hero.
Yep.
I would be looking at Kelly Olynyk.
Okay.
And I honestly would probably go to one of Malcolm Brogdon or Sabonis.
Okay.
That is with Oladipo being ruled out. But let's hypothetically say that Oladipo is in. I would just grab another Miami Heat. I'd probably go Duncan Robinson or Iguodala.
I completely agree with everything you just said. I'm going to be a little bit different just because it makes the stream fun. I'm going to say my cash core is going to be Precious. It's going to be Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and then it's going to be Kevin Durant. Okay. And I think all those players are viable. Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero could easily both shoot over 25 shots tonight. They are going to be taking all of the shots, all the usage. Duncan Robinson's only $4,800, guys. You cannot go wrong with any one of these Miami Heat. Just like last night I said with the 76ers, you cannot go wrong with any one of those players. Obviously, it was a blowout, so therefore Joel Embiid did not hit value. But guys, Joel Embiid was a great play last night. Don't let them get in your head. Same thing with the rest of the players on that starting roster. Okay, if he played that entire fourth quarter, he easily gets to 60. I can say that with confidence. He was off to a roaring start. So ended with 41 and only 3 quarters. Definitely would have easily paid off his price tag. Look at the stats in front of you. If it's not a blowout, all these guys are paying off their price tag. I will say that. I don't want to see all you guys saying that the Miami Heat are a bad play after tonight when they get blown out. It doesn't mean they were bad plays. It means that they got blown out. That's all that means. And you can't control those things. So same things with injuries. And of course, we have 300 viewers now as soon as we get off, TJ. But any more comments? Any last words, TJ?
No, like you said, Matt, you always want to give yourself the best opportunity, and whoever benefits the most off of who is out. So in this last night, it was Philadelphia. If it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. But, if I'm presented that opportunity like we saw last night where there's only 8 eligible guys and Joel Embiid is one of those 8 and he's projected to play 36 minutes. If that game doesn't blow out, I'm taking Joel Embiid 11 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
No questions asked. So again, tonight, same type of situation in Miami. So yes, I'm going to be stacking the Miami Heat because they're given the best opportunity on the slate with everybody dealing with COVID. It's a tight rotation. And if it blows out, it blows out. But if that game stays competitive and those guys are all carrying 60 plus ownership, like you're toast if you're playing cash. So I think be smart, play Miami. Come back with some of those expensive guys for Indiana, like Sabonis, like Brogdon, Durant, Jokic, if you want to go up and get him. And yeah, I think that's going to be the key to success for tonight.
One last thing to say, TJ. Tonight is even more obvious of a stack because literally the highest priced guy is Tyler Hero. Okay, if the highest priced guy is $6,700 as opposed to Joel Embiid at what was he last night, $9,800? Come on, guys, this is staring you right in the face. If you're not playing 5-6 guys in cash from the Miami Heat, you might be doing it wrong. Okay, I can confidently say that. And I'm going to be doing that in single entry, very small GPPs. We're going to crush it tonight. Absolutely guarantee it. With all that being said, guys, have a great rest of your night. Let's cash.
Good luck, guys.